We're back with Shoggoth. I hope you've all had a lovely week or day or whatever. Make sure you've got some water. I have mine. We're going to finish off this jellyfish today. I am once again very tired, but that's okay. Oh, I don't know how that happened. Just magically went, my Illustrator program magically went to my other screen. The magic jumping illustrator. I suppose I'm an illustrator, but I am not good at jumping. Still getting over this illness. Very much at the tail end of it. The tentacle end of it. Don't like how fat that tentacle gets there. Probably better, isn't it? What have you done this week? Let me know. What do you have planned for the coming week? Or are you joining me whilst doing some drawing? Or some writing or anything? Probably not writing, eh? Unless you can write and listen at the same time. I definitely can't. Can't read or write whilst doing something else. I can do everything else while doing something else. It's not that. Unless I want to read the same thing 100 times. Itchy leg. This week, I've done a fair amount. I've been pretty busy. Busy enough that I'm pretty tired. Fourth band practice with my new band on Wednesday. Which I am getting more and more excited about each time, really. And I'm just happy to be playing with my friends and writing music that's fun and that I like. All sorts of things forming concepts and characters. And each time something just pops out of each song and makes me want to do an illustration for it. So I'm going to, once we've decided on the singles, go do an illustration for each song. Similar to what Coheed did with the Afterman, Ascension and Descension albums inside the booklet there was like an illustration for each song. So I'm gonna have to pick a consistent style. Do them all, but it's gonna be so good. Well, it's definitely gonna be rewarding for me to do that. Let's start on this guy here. That was a fairly long session Wednesday, I think. Productive. Finished song 2. Got a chunk of song 3 done. Be demoing, finishing the demo for song 1 and starting the demo for song 2 this coming Wednesday. If I can get the drums programmed. By then for the second song, hopefully I can get like a chunk of it done at least. Demoing with programmed drums because it's just easier and quicker and cheaper, and I can do it here. It's not quicker, it's a lot quicker to just play drums. Actually, it's probably a lot easier to just play drums as well, but I can do it from home, so. And like, you get a really nice drum sound. There's no mixing needed, especially not for this purpose. And it's easier to change parts on the fly, obviously. Like if I went and recorded a demo track of drums and then wanted to change it, or like add a part to the song, yeah, it's just way more practical to program the drums for the demo. It's really going to be like a guide track for the... So like, program the drums, record the guitar and vocals to those programmed drums, and then use the guitar and vocals as a guide track for me to record drums later on. Which is the current workflow. Actually, might be interesting to talk about that. So yeah, current workflow is one of us comes up with an idea, or like the bare bones of a song, and then we bring it to the room. That song idea then gets filtered through the others, and then we finish writing that song, and then once that song is in a place that we're all happy with, I come back and I program the drums. So I record all our rehearsals. I got a Zoom Q8 and 4K maybe. I upgraded my Zoom recently. This is pretty good. Any recordings you've seen of me playing drums would have been recorded on that. Apart from the Harry Randall Marsh one, I think that was still on the old Zoom. The field of view on it is so bad. I could barely see anything. This new one has a wide angle lens and it's wild. You can see everything. It feels like you can see around corners with it. So yeah, then I come in, sit down, listen to the track and transpose a rough idea on the drums from what I've played in the studio. I don't do every little detail because it would take forever. No, I don't like that. Yeah, it's a really, really nice workflow, actually. It's working really well. I mean, we're only a couple of songs in, but it's just like a really positive atmosphere. Everyone's digging it. It's really good. And obviously some parts you just can't write in a room. Getting wild ideas across to people can be really hard when it's like multi-layered, multiple time signatures and stuff. Can be tricky in a room, so ideas like that can just be recorded by yourself and then sent over for people to learn. It's the current workflow. What else have I done? I trained at some point this week. Trained on Thursday. It's great to be back. Our gym has recently gone back to its original name. So we were Gracie Baja for a while, but before that, we were Darkstar, and now we're Darkstar again. Which is awesome. All the new logos and signs up. Looks so good. Obviously, everyone hates on Gracie Baja. But doesn't matter what name's above the door. Don't care. It's about your training partners, it's about your instructors. That's what matters. And we always told them that. And I'm glad they've gone back to what they originally were. I hope it was not through, like, something shitty happening, but I haven't asked. I likely will. I've only been back once since they changed, so I haven't asked yet. And then yesterday I did a powerlifting session, which was really good. It was I'm on the last of my 5 reps. So before I was doing 5x5. Yesterday I did 3x5 deadlift. And tomorrow I'm doing 3x5 squat. I think I've already done my 3x5 bench. That is the end of my 6th week of this program. Then we're going into 3s. Which I'm told, yeah, very hard. The 5x5s were way harder than I anticipated. It's a lot easier lifting one heavy thing than a fairly heavy thing. It's easier lifting one heavy thing than a slightly lighter thing 5 times. You think like the max you can lift would be harder, but it's not. It's a lot harder to lift. Keep lifting not so heavy things. Oh, we're so close to finishing this top part of the jellyfish. It's jumping around a bit. I'm not sure why that's doing that. And then today I was in the studio again. On my own, just playing some drums. Played some Mastodon and some Coheed. I was very tired before that. I didn't really want to go today. But at the very least, I got some exercise in. It's got a super busy week coming up. Tesseract on Friday. My first time seeing Tesseract. It's going to be probably pretty mind-blowing. Really looking forward to it. And then I got a gig on Sunday, which I will hopefully record. It's with Deep Frog. Hopefully I'll record the whole set this time, instead of missing out the first 2 songs by accident. And then I'll post the whole thing, so you can see the whole gig. But we haven't had a rehearsal. We haven't rehearsed since that last gig, so not that optimistic about my playing, to be honest. We'll see, and it'll be alright. I am starving. I don't have any snacks today, because straight after this I'm having dinner. But I hope you have snacks. Or dinner. I hope you have one of them. Give a little save. Make sure it's still running. It is. We're safe. What's happening next week? Powerlifting Monday. Recording Wednesday. Tesseract Friday. Gig Sunday. And a million things to fit in between. The normal. Ooh, I watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the Donald Glover series. I think I actually mentioned that last week. I finished it anyway. It was a bit odd, but it was quite nice to sort of see him acting again. I haven't seen him in anything since Community, probably. Bit of a strange ending. I'm not sure whether it's going to be the same characters in season 2, if they get a season 2. It would be nice if it was the same characters and And well, it'd be nice if they got a season 2 and it was the same characters. I think it probably doesn't matter if it's the same characters or not. I'm sure they will get some people that are equally as good as both of them were. I don't know, the dynamic was weird, so maybe it'd be better with different people, I don't know. But I did like them both a lot, so they could easily change the dynamic. I mean, they kind of did change the dynamic right at the end. It was a little bit more less unhinged. Got a bit unhinged in places. It was a strange watch, to be honest. I didn't dislike it. It was quite fun. It was mostly just fun to watch them. I believe the showrunner, creator maybe, said that it was always intended to be a love story. I feel like they captured a quite difficult relationship. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, also finally watched Ant-Man Quantumania or whatever. That was pretty fun as well. Finally getting back into the Marvel. So I've been waiting to watch Guardians 3 for 100 years, it feels like. So that'll be good. Got a lot to catch up on. That's about it, really. I've not played any games or anything. I mean, I do play Pokemon TCG. Do log into that and have a match or two of that every day for the dailies. But I'm not into the current meta at all. I hate the Charizard deck that everyone's using. And Roaring Moon is good but annoying. I'll probably go Roaring Moon once Mew gets rotated. I've been using Mew because I wanted to use Mew while it was still available. Before that I was using my Calyrex Palkia mashup deck, which was fun. But I wanted to get to play Mew before it rotated out. But obviously it's weak against dark types, which is what that Charizard and that Roaring Moon are. I do quite like the Roaring Moon deck. I did beat a Charizard last night with my Mew deck. God, it was satisfying. What was that today? Oh, I don't even know. Might have been this morning. All in a bit of a haze. I didn't get sleep till gone 5 this morning. I just couldn't get to sleep again. Not sure why that happens. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I did a decent gym session. I should have been tired, but I'm just tired now instead. When I'm not allowed to sleep, I'm tired. When I'm allowed to, what is this? Where is this come from? This tentacle doesn't go anywhere. I think I'll just ignore that then. I obviously forgot to draw wherever that was going. Maybe I'm probably just gonna copy and paste this over to the other side and we'll change some bits. Because drawing this has taken a while. Don't need to do this twice. That's what I did with the sketch anyway. Which sketch did I do first? I mean, which sketch did I actually do? Was it that one or that one? Not sure. Jellyfish are cool. What are you having for dinner? I'm having a vegan lasagna and vegan mac and cheese. Half and half. With garlic bread and a load of salad. I think it might be a bit sickly. Oh, I'm so hungry. I'll eat anything. Garlic bread tends to need like the citrus, like the tartness from tomato to be like really palatable. If I was just having it with macaroni and cheese, I think that would be too much. Let's hope this lasagna is tangy. Where are you coming from? Going with that? Okay. Feeling relaxed. Fairly content. Probably the drowsiness. Should we do? I got another random question generator. Well, it is on a streamer site, but the question is, what is the best advice you would give to a new streamer? I am a new streamer. I don't know that I have any advice yet. What have I learned so far? I have learned things. I've learned that if I'm tired, I struggle to think of things to talk about. So it's good to have prompts like this. Not much else from actually streaming. All I can think of. But obviously, before you actually stream, you have to learn how to link OBS and YouTube and everything and set everything up. But I mean, it was really easy, so it's not a problem. Advice would be, I guess, if you want to talk, have some prompts. But I don't think you have to talk. Depends what you're doing. Even then, you don't have to do anything. Do what you want. You are just joining. We're working on this lady and her jellyfish friends going to be fighting Shoggoth. A Shoggoth creature. Not sure what Shoggoth's going to look like yet. My initial idea was humanoid. And I'm not certain I want to go with that. But it'll either be humanoid or a massive eyes. Once we finish this line art, I think I'll have to decide. I do have a sketch for the humanoid. Just a rough thing. I think I'm actually like mocked up a 3D model and then ripped the. I exported just like the outline of it, so I could quickly put a pose together. But I don't think the pose was particularly complex. I think I was just trying to learn this 3D program. Which I don't really use, but it is good for more complex posing. I didn't use it for her, but it would have been really handy. I didn't have the program when I did her, so. Which one was I just working on? I think it was you. May not have been. They all look the same. Well, I don't know. I guess that's just done then. Let's work on here. Some very strange noise just happened outside. It went. What just happened again? I think it's a bird. It went. Tell me what bird makes that noise. It's got to be a bird. A distant bird. Or as a bloody Shoggoth and gonna have to get my best eye poker out. Poke those eyes. Happened again. I don't think it wants its eyes poked. But you're all eyes, mate. What am I supposed to do? Even if I didn't want to poke your eyes, I'd probably accidentally poke your eyes. Yeah, maybe they're friendly. Maybe I can hug their eyes. Oh my god, we finished. Finished the top of the jelly. Not feeling very dexterous today. Ah. My finger slipped. My finger? My hand. Oh, great. My finger slipped and poked the Shoggoth in the eye. Oh, no. So, yeah. That's not... I don't have the advice. Would you rather be a turtle or a turkey? Damn. I mean... Turtle, obviously. There's no turtle day where everyone eats the turtles. I mean, everyone did eat all the Galapagos turtles or wherever it was. Turtles have a cool shell anyway. They're like pretty unique creatures. Turkeys are fun. I'd like to have a couple of turkeys probably. Don't know how long a turkey lives. It's quite a big bird. It's got to be like 10 years, right? I think it's like a dog. The equivalent of a dog. Alright, now I need to know. How long does a turkey take to defrost? Jesus. Grim. 10 years. Domestic turkey, 10 years. Wild turkey, 3 to 5 years. Alright, well, let's get some domestic turkeys. Live 2 to 3 times as long. The turkey is a large bird native to North America. Turkeys, eh? I mean, turtles, I mean, turtle, what, like a sea turtle? Or like a terrapin or a tortoise? Let's just say it's a turtle that lives in the sea. Don't think I'd like to live in the sea. Like, the waves would be annoying. The current would be annoying. They're pretty solid, though. If you're like one of the giant ones, you just sit at the bottom. Don't know. Let's go tortoise. They live longer. I mean turtle. Actually, don't know how long turtles live. Turtles, tortoises, but tortoises aren't turtles. Turtles have flippers. That's the way I think of it. Turtles got legs. Turtles got flippers. I'd rather be a turtle than a turkey. But I'd rather have a turkey than a turtle. That's what I'm going with. I wonder if this would be easier to do with the pen tool. Well, I think actually all of this would have been easier to do with the pen tool. I mean, like, maybe I should switch, but I shouldn't switch. I've already got wild, uneven lines. Don't want to switch to something a bit neater. Got to keep consistent. And also got to learn to do this a bit faster. But I don't want to rush on the stream and like get frantic. I want to relax. So we're doing this at a very, very relaxed pace. Because it's relax time. Right now it's Sunday at 6:39 in the evening. For me. You're likely watching this at a different time. But that's where I'm at. Still going through the Clone Wars series. It's great. Got to like all the Maul and Savage stuff. That's pretty much wrapped up now. The Emperor just came along and Savage and Maul fought him. No spoilies, but if you've seen it, you'll know what happens. And if you haven't, you won't. I think I kind of guessed that was going to happen. What happened? I pretty much guessed the Emperor going there and everything. It was kind of the only way that it could be dealt with in my head. It was the only logical thing that they could do. No one else had, like, stake in it. And not even the Emperor does, he's just a lunatic. I don't know, what even is he? Lunatic's probably offensive anyway. Probably shouldn't say that. Wasn't meant in offense. Just vernacular. Oh, that's awkward. Oh, my back's killing me. But not my normal back pain, so it's fine. Different area. Oh, this guy gets real thin real quick, doesn't he? Let's see if we can flash you out a bit here. I don't think that helps. Questions. What surprised you about streaming? Oh, this is a bit too streamy, isn't it? What surprised me about streaming? Nothing. Okay, I thought it was going to be a little bit more... I thought I was going to be a bit more anxious while doing it than I am. Because I am doing it to challenge myself, or to get out of my comfort zone. It's not much of a challenge, is it? But it's to do something that is difficult for me. I felt like that was a good enough reason to do it. Oh, God. Everything likes jumping around screens today. What am I doing? Right, okay. We're good. Yeah, I thought maybe I'd be a bit more anxious. But it's been alright. There's been moments. I feel like I've settled into the pace that I want. I feel like I've found a pace. And I like this pace. Oh, we've got to finish you, haven't we? We can't just leave the end of this tentacle like this. I was going to start a new one. Tentacle ADHD. Oh, I got a bit of painting in Saturday night on my Pathfinders. I got all the black done. They are mostly black. Grey and black. I've gone through a few different ideas with them, but just settling for this how it is now. I'm gonna try and just add as much detail as I can to make them interesting. And I'm gonna do some like glow. I'm gonna do them in like a swamp with like swamp bases. I'm gonna do some like glowing yellow coming up from the swamp, so a bit of under OSL. OSL is object source lighting, if you didn't know. It's like all the glowing effects on stuff. Which is like my most favourite part, really. I wanted to make them really grim dark, but also like tactical. So I thought, grey armour, like dark grey armour, black material, but you couldn't really tell the difference between the two parts. Couldn't really find a decent contrasting way to do that, so I ended up scrapping that a bit and then just dry brushing a lighter grey over everything. So then I had to go back in and do all the material black again. So now there's a bit of dry brushing on all the armour, but not on the material. So it gives it a bit more distinction between the two. Not a huge lot. Won't be doing black on black again or dark on dark again. Do need more contrast than that. But I wanted them to be dark because they've got like orange. There's like orange detailing on them, so like orange stripes in places. Can't remember where I got the idea from for that colour scheme, but oh yeah. The Pathfinders will look pretty cool if I can nail the OSL on the bases. They'll look fantastic, I think. They're really small and light models though, so I'm gonna weight the bases. I used to blue tack a 2p in them. Not sure if a 2p will fit. I also got rid of all my change. I've seen people put washers in the bases to weight them. Not sure what I'll do. I think I even saw someone fill it with lead. Don't know what I'll do yet. I just put a blob of blue tack in and call that it. That might not be weighted enough though. I'll probably stick a coin in there if a 2p fits. So I'm a bit clogged. Oh god, that's awful. Look, you just go across here. No, not like that. So I was supposed to fix this when doing the line art. I didn't do the sketch very well because I thought, I'll just fix it when I do the line art because I'll be using the pen tool. It'll be easy. But when you're copying inking, it's not easy. You're just copying the sketch when you're inking. But this is the point of inking. Hey, why'd you undo? That's better. I mean, see, that's right, but no, that's pretty good. I should have probably done that on all of them. Bit late now. It's fine. I'm going to do these jellyfish sort of like a blue and pink gradients, maybe like watercolory, maybe watercolor texture or something. Could do some like glowing white bits maybe as well. Background's going to be black or dark grey. Everything's going to be dark grey, and then probably only the jellyfish will be coloured. And then all the eyes will be white. She'll be white, I guess. Something like that. That's not going to work, is it? That looks like it's going to work. If you could instantly become an expert in something, what would it be? Probably something science related. Maybe engineering. I mean, the temptation to just be an expert in something I already do is there. Like, it'd be great to be an expert drummer. I'm like good at drums, but I'm not Matt Gasker good. I would love to be Matt Gasker good, but he got there by putting the time in. It feels cheap to not do that. I think it maybe something that could make a difference to the world, like environmental engineering or something. Or like it would also just be really cool to be able to play piano really well. Can I become an expert in guessing lottery numbers or something? I suppose if you're just given this knowledge into your brain, and then you can like get a job in the field of that knowledge. So if you got like the knowledge of a doctor or something, that would be really interesting. Or like maybe, I don't know, maybe something practical. I mean, engineering or like woodworking or something. I don't feel like you have to be an expert at woodworking to enjoy woodworking though. Like that might hinder the process of enjoyment. Could be like a expert chemist. Create crazy drugs that fix people's brains. That'd be an interesting job. I don't know. What about an expert turtle? Can I be an expert turtle? I think that's what I'll do. Just checking the stream health. Are zoos ethical? Jesus, I mean, no. Most of them are like conservation based these days, aren't they? They certainly weren't ethical. They certainly were just look at these animals from around the world that you've never seen before. Now I feel like there is an element of conservation or like rescue. or like breeding endangered species or something. At least that's what I hope it is. I love going to the zoo. I love seeing animals. I mean, I don't go to the zoo, but I think all the ones around here are conservation. They're not like attractions. When we went to Devon last year, I think it was last year. Ooh. God, was it? It might have been the year before. Who knows? Not me. There was an otter, a butterfly and otter sanctuary. How fucking cool is that? The butterfly room was the thickest room I've ever been in. It's like wading through the air. It's so humid. It was on like the hottest day I've ever experienced as well. Also trained jiu-jitsu out there, and they wouldn't even open the windows. There was air conditioning and they wouldn't turn it on. God, it's horrendous. I tapped to heat. Fun though. An experience. And the otters were awesome. See, I think a lot of zoos these days are more like sanctuaries than attractions. No, I don't think attractions are ethical. If you're rescuing animals or breeding them, if they're endangered, you're trying to increase the population, sure. No one wants to see those big, beautiful gorillas in cages. Surely, no one goes to the zoo and doesn't have a bit of sadness about seeing that. Surely. Ah. Oh, I really cannot wait for dinner and Star Wars. Dinner and a bit of Clone Wars. Whenever my partner is in, that is pretty much our nightly ritual. And it is one that I love. I spent years not having access to a front room, like a living room. So, taking full advantage of it while it's here. What things people take for granted, eh? Having a living room to eat with your partner and sit and watch TV seems like a simple pleasure. But not everyone has that. So appreciate what you got. Yeah. Oh. When was the last time you bathed? Not bathed. Bathed. Like throw up. When was the last time you threw up? Couldn't tell you. Not for a long time. Not for several years. I remember a dodgy pint about 10 years ago. The last 2 times I remember throwing up were both from dodgy pints, actually. One of them, it was my friend's birthday, and I just ate these delicious vegan chicken burgers. I had one beer with dinner and these chicken burgers, and then I went into this place that it was where he worked. It was the bar he worked, and I had a sip of this beer, and it tasted like burnt rubber. And I think there was still line cleaner in it. I think there was still line cleaner in the lines. But I got someone else to taste it, and they didn't really. They said it tasted fine. So I sort of forced a couple of glugs down, probably about that much of a pint glass, and then was violently sick. And he was the cleaner, so he had to clean it up the next day when he was hungover. I don't know why they didn't clean it up at the time. I would have cleaned it up, but I mean, it was outside, and like, what do you do? Throw a bucket of water on it? But I threw up my lovely dinner. And then a few years after that, again, I think I'd had 2 pints, and had a beer in a pub, and just threw it up straight away. And I never drank from the taps after that second time. Just started drinking spirits or bottles until I went on the heavy cider. But not for a long time now. Been sober, I don't know, 3.5 or 4.5 years. Can't remember which one of those it is. Bloody long time. Hungry. Oh. Okay, this question is, who is the greatest musician that ever lived? And I don't think it's possible to answer that question. Obviously, it is subjective. But, like, which instrument? I can tell you the best drummer is probably Matt Gasker. I don't know. Maybe he just does something for me that other drummers don't. Lots of people love, like, Benny Greb, or, like, older guys like Vinnie Colaiuta, or all the other 80s drummers. Or, like, Buddy Rich. But I feel like, personally, Matt Gasker either has or will surpass every drummer that's ever lived. I can't see him not being the greatest drummer of all time. And then if you're talking about, like, guitar, are you talking about technically best, or are you talking about who writes good songs, or no, It's an impossible question. Maybe that's the point of the question. We're thinking in real time here, my friends. It's hard to quantify, like, worth as a musician. So you can be incredible and never get the chance to be in a good band. You just don't get the opportunity. Or you can not be very good and be in a really successful band. Generally, good music is played by good musicians. But, you know, like, loads of my favourite bands, they're not, like, the most technical bands. Or, you know, like, Coheed, one of my favourite bands. I could name many guitarists, many drummers that are much better than Claudio, Travis, or Josh. So that's a songwriting thing. And like a storytelling thing, I suppose. Not just because it's like concept-y. But like music is a journey. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes it's just what it is. Music's complicated. Hard to quantify for sure, yeah. Well, that's my thoughts on that. What is your happiest memory from streaming? Right, well, I haven't made any memories. So this current one right now, feeling in a relatively okay mood. The depression isn't too bad. Like, probably because I feel like I got a decent chunk of exercise in this week. That really helps. I mean, the existential dread is still looming. Still feel lost and alone. It's just a thing people might have to deal with. Maybe everyone deals with that. Oh, I'm bumming myself out now, so. Next question. What sports did you play as a kid? Had a basketball hoop in the garden and a Space Jam basketball. Didn't play it that much because the garden was pretty manky. I skateboarded. I rollerbladed. I even roller booted. Pretty good at skateboarding. But then I discovered other parts of life. And skateboarding fell to the side, which is a shame because I'm too scared to start again now. I tried when I was in my early 20s just to get on a board. Thought it'd be like riding a bike. It wasn't. It was very wobbly. Where I used to be incredibly confident on a board, felt like an extension of me felt the same as walking, you know. As comfortable. I mean, skateboarding back then probably felt more comfortable than walking feels now. This is providing a challenge, this line. If you can hear that annoying, it's my hand on the tablet. Potentially, I will invest in a glove. But then I'll get used to the glove, and then in the summer, I want to peel my own skin off. Let alone a glove. How are we feeling about this? I was hoping to get this jellyfish done today, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, which is fine. So let's just remind ourselves where we are with this. Probably do another 15 or so minutes because I've got dinner in 15 or so minutes. So that's what's happening. I don't know if skateboarding is a sport, by the way. I think it counts. What is your favourite sports team? Sports is so nondescript. I don't really watch sports. I mean, I watch fighting. I watch jiu-jitsu and MMA and some boxing. Nothing else, I don't think. There was a time when I watched Scottish football. Only Scottish football. Normal football sucks. Sorry if you like football. Just doesn't do it for me. Although sometimes I watch the World Cup. I think that's like, I think we sort of always did. In 98, was that World Cup in 98? We didn't have a TV growing up until that World Cup. And then we borrowed a TV from like an old, I swear it was black and white. It was like ancient TV from a woman down the road to watch the World Cup. And then we must have got a TV after that because I had a Nintendo 64 and a PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1. Why? Why would you do that? That's a good line. That was a crap line. Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that World Cup is what made my parents go, all right, we'll get another TV. It happened when I was really little. You know, we probably didn't actually not have a TV for very long. It just felt like a long time. But yeah, I think sort of watching the World Cup as a kid in 98 and then getting time off school to watch the World Cup. Like England games, people got to go home early, I'm pretty sure. So I think like the World Cup has a place in my memory. But other than that, no football. Like there's some things I quite like. I quite like ice hockey. It's good. But I don't watch it. Just appreciate it. Is it the violence? Might be the violence. Well, it's just quite a different sport, I think. It's not, I don't feel like I even watch like MMA for the violence. I watch it to see someone who's really good at what they do. I appreciate that. As I've done martial arts my whole life. Pretty much. I know how hard it is to be really good. And I know how difficult it is. Especially like I don't compete. So maybe I don't know how hard it is to compete. But I do play gigs and I feel like they are around the same area of they're in the same place. In fact, they very nearly were. Not a fight at a gig, but nearly played a gig at a boxing match. Don't know why that didn't happen in the end, but would have been good. I think we were supposed to be someone's walkout music. Get strange gigs with Scott. Part of the joy of it. Always weird and unpredictable. Always something strange going on. Should we try and finish this long guy here? And then call it. Call it a day. Next week I think I'll be streaming on the Saturday instead of the Sunday. Because on Sunday I've got a gig. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this. Sunday I'm playing Gig of Deep Frog. Friday I'm going to see Tesseract. So yeah. Won't have time to stream on Sunday. So I'll do that on Saturday. I'll probably be knackered after that week, but we're just here to relax. I wonder if you could hear that dog barking outside just then. Sounded pretty livid. Probably not. I think it might have been Frida. She seems like a lovely dog. It just barks. Just sounds scary. She's like a family dog, so she's nice. Are you okay? Yeah, you're okay. Ah. I'll accept you. Let's do another question. Ugh. These are all weird. And it's back to what's your favourite sports team? Are you a good dancer? Absolutely not. If you could have any animal for a pet, what would it be? Or I mean, I cool to have like one of those. I mean, what are we talking about if you could? What, if it was legal or if it was like ethical? It would be great to have like a river full of otters. I'm pretty sure where my mum grew up in Australia, my mum and my auntie and my uncle and their parents, my grandparents, they moved to Australia when, I don't know how old my mum was, maybe like 3 till 7 or something. My auntie was born there. And I'm pretty sure they used to have a stream full of otters at the end of their garden. I'm sure I remember being told that. How amazing would that be? I also quite like those like eyes. They jump from tree to tree. I think that's them. Rhino would be good. Just a massive rhino. But like, if we're talking about realistic, about what pet I would love to have, and I'm not talking about this like a pet. It wouldn't be like a pet. One day, I want to rescue some cows. Just have a couple of cows. Let them have a lovely, happy life. If I ever get the opportunity, if I ever get a property, full stop. But obviously, it would have to have land. If I'm ever in a position in my life where I can afford a house with land, I'm going to get a cow. But yeah, I've never had a pet. Some mice. Co-owned some mice. Which were amazing. Rodents are my favourite, I think. Another question, come on. Let's keep them going. Can you play an instrument? I think I might have talked about that too much already. I play drums. I play guitar. I play bass. I play sing. I play a bit of piano. But I think my level of ability on all of them, other than drums, is pretty much I can just do some things. It's not... I'm not talented. I haven't spent enough time with those things. I have on guitar. I spend all the time with guitar. You know, I have one sitting next to me. I have two sitting next to me. I pick up and play whenever I want. But I'm not amazing at guitar. I'm good enough to be able to write songs. So if I get a song in my head, I can then write it on guitar. It's the extent of knowledge and playability level that I need. I have a functional understanding of guitar. Same with piano. And same with bass. I mean, bass is just a different guitar. When you have the level of knowledge I do. Yeah, I think I could probably pick up any instrument and be able to play something on it. And I think most musicians would say the same and be able to do the same. It's not. Being good at something and being able to play it is very different. Like, I'd never be able to play piano in a band, but I can compose on it. That's all I need it for. I think I probably could play guitar in a band and would like to play guitar in a band one day. Not necessarily in a band, I'd just like to do a gig. Be fun. Right, we've done that, big guy. That's looking good. So, let's just double check that I am talking about the right weekend. Yeah, I think probably I won't be able to do Sunday. Depends. I haven't actually found out yet when we need to be at this gig. So I may well have time Sunday to stream. But if I don't, it'll be Saturday, and I'll schedule it the day before anyway. I'll probably schedule it Thursday for either Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, let's go full screen. I'll see you next week, and I hope you have a great week, or a great day, or a great sleep, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Let's do one more question. Do you consider yourself to be more extroverted or introverted? Both. Introvert generally, I suppose. It's hard to consider just being one or the other. Depends on the company. See you later.